Hello, everyone. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to the Tantrum East podcast. I am your host, Lisa Bol, and with me is Thomas T-Bone Daniels.
What?
T-Bone. A lot of radio personalities have nicknames. It makes them memorable.
I'm not memorable?
I'm just trying something for our new format. Could be a good TikTok handle.
TikTok is what we should be doing instead of this.
We made a deal. You give this podcast thing a try, and I'll consider TikTok.
Look, listeners, my co-host and I made this agreement that we would take our theater company and pivot to podcasting, so here we are.
You might know Tantrum East from our previous work producing readings of new plays.
But then 2020 happened.
We reassessed and moved into the virtual reading world.
And now, since theater is dead, Lisa convinced me to jump on the podcasting bandwagon. Every episode, Lisa and I will alternate sharing short stories on different topics of our choosing. Neither one of us will know what the other person is going to discuss until we start recording, so let's get this started with a coin toss.
Hold on. What do you mean by theater is dead?
I don't miss it. I don't miss live theater. I don't miss people paying money to take a nap right in front of me, or cell phones going off in the middle of scenes, or someone texting through an entire monologue that took me weeks to memorize. You think I can't see you? Now, at least I really can't. I can't see what anyone's doing. They could be texting, eating, posting, jerking off.
Please don't be.
Theater is dead.
No. It is evolving. Theater has survived the Black Plague. It survived the 1920s influenza. It survived world wars. It survived Neil LaBute. Theater is going to survive this because it adapts and evolves, which is exactly what we are doing.
Look, Lisa, I'm sorry. It's just been a very long 3 years of pandemic. You can edit this part out and we can start over with the intro and the coin toss.
No, no. I think I'll leave this in. I want you to be a part of the evolution.
Sure. It's your podcast.
It's our podcast. Heads or tails?
Tails never fails. Except now. Okay, Lisa, what's your short story?
Well, it's not exactly short. Here's the script.
Murder We Spoke, episode 1?
Of 8.
Whoa, wait a second. That's not what we agreed.
You've heard about the Murder We Spoke trio, right?
No. I mean, a little from the news, but...
But what?
It's just fucked, okay? The true crime industry is solely based on the exploitation of violence and profits off the misery of its victims without giving them a real voice.
It's also the number 4 top-rated genre in all podcasting, with close to 50% of all podcast audiences listening. And of that audience, over 75% of them are women.
There are a lot of fucked up people out there.
Are you saying women are fucked up?
I am saying I don't want to contribute to the consumption of victim violence media.
Tell you what, I did spring this on you, so I'll make you a deal. We will take things episode by episode, and at any time, if you want to stop the story, just say so. We will end Murder We Spoke right then and there, and I will happily listen to whatever topic you want to present.
Where did you even find this information? I thought they took the podcast series off the air after the whole shed incident.
Oh, once something is online, it's never truly gone. But my main source for the story comes from the New York Times bestselling novel, A Podcast to Die For, written by the hosts of Something Fishy podcast, the only survivors of the Murder We Spoke trio. It provides a ton of interviews, archived transcripts, and inside information of what really went on in the shed from the infamous Bloody Bernie Brown herself.
So we, Tantrum East, are presenting Something Fishy's story, which is actually Murder We Spoke's story that we are retelling. So it's Tantrum East's story?
It's a podcast and a podcast and a podcast thing. Let's take it from the top.
Okay. We begin our story in 2019.
Oh, Thomas, you just bring it in a bit? Yeah, bring it in.
we begin our story in 2019. Something Fishy, a true crime podcast, is on the verge of greatness or absolute failure.
Inside a high budget podcast studio located in the West Loop of Chicago in 2019, Something Fishy is recording the first episode of their 5th season.
What's that? What's going on?
There's something fishy happening.
Well, hello there, fellow homicidettes. Welcome to another episode of Something Fishy. My name is Bailey, and I am joined by my fellow partner in crime, AJ.
Good day, Bailey. We've never been more flat out and stuffed than this year, have we, mate? I practiced that all week.
Well, listeners, I bet you're all wondering why AJ is speaking in that outrageous accent.
Is it time to tell them?
Oh, if you insist.
Well, homicide.
Maybe just drop it for now.
We are extremely excited to announce that Something Fishy is going down under.
We are coming to you, Australia, live and in person.
Perth to Adelaide to Melbourne to Sydney to Brisbane. Hey, maybe we should try to squeeze in New Zealand.
Oh, I think we're on a tight schedule as it is.
Ha! Tighter than a kangaroo's pouch.
I don't know what that means.
Tickets are on sale now, but they will go fast.
This is a very big initiative. Like, huge, especially after launching our Homicide Dead podcast network and purchasing our new studio space in this extremely expensive West Loop high-rise.
Obviously, the next step was an international tour. You know, Bailey, we've been doing this podcast for 5 years, 230 episodes, and countless hours of gruesome details as we explore some of the most violent, depraved killers throughout the centuries. Do you remember where we recorded our very first episode?
My uncle's garage.
Now here we are staring at a gorgeous view of the Chicago skyline from the top floor of our new studio headquarters.
I don't want to go back to the garage.
It just goes to show you, it's a marathon, folks, not a sprint. If you work hard and keep at it, sooner or later, you can be planning your international tour too.
In preparation for the tour, we're doing things a little differently. We want to give you guys something fresh, something juicy, something unsolved, something you all have been clamoring for.
To kick off Something Fishy's 5th season, Bailey and I are bringing you the exclusive, never been told story of the one, the only Murder We Spoke podcast killers.
Jane Crescendo Doe, Paula Anderson, and the infamous Bernadette Brown.
An arsonist, a cannibal, and a killer. What better trio could you ask for?
No one has been able to interview the trio since they were apprehended back in 2015.
4 years later, they are talking to us and only us.
We are busy piecing together interviews and building a multi-chapter series narrated by AJ and myself.
We will close out the series with an epic live finale you do not want to miss.
Our goal is to close the case on the disappearance of Roger Atwood.
Atwood has been missing since the trio was apprehended back in 2015 and broadcast his mysterious confession on Murder We Spoke's last known episode.
All of this can be yours once you subscribe to our Deluxe Slasher Patreon.
That means homicidettes for a $60 flat fee. you will get to hear all 8 episodes of the Murder We Spoke series, in addition to early bird tickets to our live shows and discounts on our merch.
Or purchase per chapter at $10 each.
You know, I feel a little giving today, Bailey. I think for the very first chapter, let's give our listeners a freebie.
Okay. The one and only freebie. It is our pleasure to present Murder We Spoke by Something Fishy, a Homicidette network production. Episode 1. It started with a fire.
March 2015. A late, cold night in Rogers Park. Rogers Park is a Chicago North Side neighborhood at the edge of city limits. Originated in 1816, the neighborhood runs adjacent to Lake Michigan and spans over a mile to the west. It is a cozy part of the city, consisting of small boutique shops, a spattering of taverns, courtyard apartments, and historic single-family homes. It's a place to settle down, start a family, create a foundation, and still feel a connection to the bustle of the city. It's also the place where Murder We Spoke was born and carried on until their deadly demise.
Click-clacking her way down the neighborhood sidewalk is Paula Anderson. She tries to avoid the snow on the ground from last night's storm. She struts as fast as her 3-inch heels will carry her. Her boots are Michael Kors, after all. She wants to remember every step she takes tonight. Tonight is the last night of her old life. After tonight, everything will change. She will no longer be the same old Paula Anderson. She can kiss that mediocre life goodbye. She's about to become who she was born to be.
She walks up a brick driveway into the backyard of a renovated craftsman house. She approaches a shed at the end of the driveway. The shed is about the size of a 1-car garage. Compared to the historic 2-story craftsman, this shed was definitely an afterthought. The white paint is almost completely flaked off, and rust covers any metal. There is a slight tilt to the structure of the shed that gives it a cautious, foreboding presence that this all might collapse one day.
Paula takes hold of the doorknob and pauses. This is it. Once she opens this door, her new life will begin.
The door announces Paula's entrance with its aching creak.
Hello? The star has arrived.
Darkness. No one is here. Paula disappointedly flips on a light switch. The shed lights up and shockingly reveals a state-of-the-art recording studio. You would never guess from looking at the outside of the dilapidated shed that inside its walls lived a sound engineer's dream.
The creaking door announces Bernadette's entrance. She awkwardly carries a large, heavy electric heater.
A little help, please, Paula.
Why is it freezing in here?
The heat must have gone out after the storm.
Oh my god, is the equipment okay?
Yeah, Paula? Seriously? This thing is heavy.
Fuck. This weighs as much as a person.
Yeah, I've been carrying it from my car for 2 blocks.
Well, wow, those kettlebells have been paying off.
Just put it down over here.
And watch my shoes.
Okay, let's get this plugged in and...
As Bernadette powers on the heater, A power surge pulses throughout the shed, causing the lights to erratically flicker.
Okay, then.
Well, the heater works.
What about everything else?
Soundboard is fine. Mixer is fine. Desktop computer is fine. The lights are flickering, but fine.
The mics? Are you kidding me?
It dropped to single digits last night.
It's March.
It's Chicago.
How the fuck are we supposed to record without our mics?
If we record.
What's that supposed to mean?
Have you heard from Cres?
No. She's not here?
Nope.
It's 10 p.m.
I tried texting her, but nothing.
Did you check inside the house?
Ugh, I hate talking to her parents.
I know, it's always money, money, money.
Yeah, well, we took a lot, so...
Well, Cres is their daughter. They should want to help with her passion.
They don't exactly agree with her passion.
After tonight, they will.
I'll try calling her.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing. We have to wait for Cres. Cres is the only one with access to social media and our stats. Cres isn't here, so...
You're acting strange.
I walk into the shed.
Studio.
I walk into the studio. Our very expensive equipment, that we can't afford to replace, is frozen. The mics don't work. I have to drag a 100-pound heater in the snow. I just want to get this over with, okay?
Over with? Our lives are about to change.
God, you don't know that.
What? Do you know something? Did you check the stats?
I deleted everything off my phone. No Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, nothing. I haven't checked any of our platforms since December, okay? I just think that
What?
maybe we shouldn't get our hopes up.
No. No. No.
Paula, please, just listen.
I will not dignify another second of this self-sabotage speak.
It's not self-sabotage. I'm just...
I have worked way too hard.
Oh, like you're the only one?
10 years, Bernie. I have given 10 years of my professional career to this podcast.
Will you just let me talk?
We made a pact. Me, you, and Cres. We all promised each other that we would give this podcast our everything and that we would start our 10th season at the top of the charts.
I got offered assistant manager.
What?
What if this doesn't work?
I'm not hearing this.
We need to be realistic, okay?
I am.
We all agreed. We need to see clear signs of growth. That's 1,000 downloads, 500 new followers, and actual Patreon subscribers. At least one true-to-life fan that sends us emails, tweets us, and gives us money.
Or
What?
it's 1,000 downloads, 500 new followers, or one Patreon fan. We don't need all three.
Those are some big numbers for us.
We dropped 2 major series in a row to close out our 9th season.
I just think we all should have a plan B.
Do you know the kind of people who have plan Bs? The people who don't believe in plan A.
I believe
Prove it.
$25,000, Paula. That's a lot of money.
We will pay them back.
With what?
With Murder We Spoke. Look, we put our heart and souls into those stories. We took major time off of work and canceled all distractions to do the research and the rewrites and edits with our new equipment. It's an investment.
It's debt.
It's Schrodinger's cat.
What?
Right now, at this moment, that $25,000 that we owe Cres's parents is both an investment and debt. We don't know what until we check our stats.
The market is getting saturated. There are other true crime podcasts popping up all the time. I mean, just today, I found this new podcast called Something Fishy. They are also from Chicago and cover the same crimes as us.
We focus on women killers.
They have 10 episodes out and already have the same number of followers as us.
You know what? I see this kind of thing all the time. They probably just had the right people in their network with cash in their pockets ready to invest. All we have is our pure talent.
And $25,000 from Cres's parents.
Maybe we can reach out to them. You know, a little cross collab with the fellow Chicago true crime people?
I don't know.
It's called networking, Bernie.
What if they say no?
We have 10 years of experience. I bet. I bet they'll be grateful we even considered them.
Fine. If we hit our mark, you can reach out to them.
We will hit our mark.
Well, we can't check the stats without Cres. Hold on. Hello?
Where the fuck is she?
Yeah, this is Bernie. Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god. Is she okay?
Ew.
I'll be right there.
What's going on?
It's Cres. She's in the hospital.
What? Why?
Something about a fire.
Not again.
One of the worst possible days to visit Northwestern Hospital's emergency room is on a Friday night. The line to be admitted starts from the revolving doors at the entrance. People stand clutching broken arms, supporting throbbing heads, coughing, sneezing, applying pressure to open wounds as they wait for their names to be called. Once you're admitted, you're led limping and wheezing down a long linoleum hallway as bright fluorescent lights guide you to your room. Click, clack, click, clack. The sound of Paula's heels rise above the ambience of squeaking cartwheels and night shift nurses mumbling to each other about how this job makes them want to smoke. Click, clack, click, clack. The sound is soothing for Bernadette. Hospitals make her anxious. The sound of monitors and constant beeping machines bring back memories of her mother.
Bernadette has always had a somewhat distant relationship with her mother, but she's never been able to remember exactly why. She was a single mom and a busy night shift nurse, but Bernadette got everything she could ever want as a child. Still, there was this itch, an itch in her brain whenever she was reminded of her mother.
The itch leads her to a speck of a memory buried in the back of her mind. A faint dream is more like it. It's always the same. Bernadette is about 8 years old as she creeps out of her childhood bedroom. Her house is eerily quiet. That kind of silence means something went wrong. She finds her mother sitting at the kitchen table, staring out a window at absolutely nothing, grinning like the Cheshire Cat at nothing? What was she staring at? The sound of sirens in the distance moves closer. The sound transforms into a blaring horn, like a Mack truck right next to your ear.
Bernie? Hello? Earth to Bernie.
Sorry.
You were staring off into space.
Hospitals make me anxious.
Okay, well, snap out of it. She's in here.
Cres, you're awake.
Hi.
What happened?
Can we go?
Can you go?
Doesn't the hospital have to let you go?
It's not prison.
Well, I just think maybe a doctor should...
I want to get out of here before the cops come.
Cops.
Why are the cops coming?
I'll tell you both outside.
Wait a second. Do I hear a tweet?
It's been going off all night. Can you hand me my pants?
Is it about Murder We Spoke?
Maybe now is not a good time.
Oh my god! Is it about our episodes?
Come on, we gotta go.
Jane Crescendo Do. laces up her Doc Martens, hastily gathers her coat, backpack, and storms out of the room. Bernadette immediately follows behind her, trailed by Paula and her click-clacks. They push past the admittance line, out the revolving doors, and into the familiar frozen embrace of Chicago in March. Cres erupts into a coughing fit that causes her to stop in her tracks.
Slow down, Cres.
Maybe we should go back inside.
Fine, just give me a minute.
Cres stands alert as she watches the police cars disappear around the corner.
Cres?
What?
You smell like gasoline.
Yeah.
Cres, you promised.
Yeah.
Tell me what happened.
I did what I had to do, that's all.
Okay, you don't want to talk about setting a fire. That's cool. How about those tweets?
Jesus, Paula, she didn't set a fire.
I did.
But like a small one, right? A small bonfire, and it got out of hand?
Can we please address the tweets?
It's for me. And Murder We Spoke.
Really?
Why you?
I made the 10 o'clock news. Here.
Paula grabs the phone out of Cres's hand. Her eyes are transfixed on the screen. She scrolls to find the news report featuring a young and energetic beat reporter. Kat Pouncey stands in front of a smoldering building, smiling but stern. This could be her big break.
Reporting live from Chicago's Old Town neighborhood, a fire broke out at a developmental site this evening. Firefighters responded at 8 p.m. to reports of a fire engulfing the hollow structure that was supposed to be new high-end condominium. Jane Doe, the daughter of the developer, was found inside the partially constructed building. The presence at the vacant structure puzzled rescuers, but she refused to comment. She was taken to Northwestern Hospital, where she remains in stable condition. This is Kat Pouncey for Chicago's News at Night.
Can we go home?
Cres?
I don't want to talk about it.
No more. Understand? Cres, please promise that this is the last.
If you drop it right now, I promise I will stick to bonfires.
All right.
I am not dropping what's going on with
Paula,
your Twitter.
not today.
We all made an agreement.
No.
I deleted all social media from my phone for 4 months. Do you have any idea how detrimental that is to an actor's career?
No, please tell us for the 100th time.
We agreed. Bernie and I focused on the series, and Cres could keep track of the stats and social media.
You
until
want to do
tonight.
this now. Outside at midnight in 20-degree weather.
Mm-hmm.
1,000.
What?
That's what you want to know, Paula. It's 1,000. 1,000 new followers.
Where do they come from?
I think from me. My stats got a boost once the news was released. They're the same people.
Why would these people follow you?
All their bios have something to do with true crime, Chicago.
True crime people are sleuths. All people need are a first name and a location, and bam! They're better than the FBI.
No such thing as bad press.
Seriously?
We got 1,000 new followers.
Cres, are you sure you're okay with this?
If it helps the podcast, what's the harm?
Right. Let's get you home.
Home? We've got to celebrate!
Celebrate what, exactly?
Our 10th season! This is it! This is the night everything changes! This is the night we become podcasting legends.
I don't think Cres wants to...
No, she's right.
Cres, come on.
I don't want to go home. I don't think my parents will be too happy to see me.
Come on, Bernie. A few hours ago, you were about to throw your life away and become an assistant manager
It's
at
a
Lunar Labs.
stable job with a reliable paycheck. It's smart, it's safe, it's...
giving up.
I would get health insurance.
We are standing right on the edge of our greatness. All we have to do is have the courage to take that leap.
Are you gonna quit Cheesecake World?
I'm not gonna apply for shift manager anytime soon. My focus is on this podcast, not staying extra hours at a job I don't give a shit about working on schedules and payroll.
The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward.
You have a 9-to-5 office job with benefits and you live with your parents.
Yeah, but it's in marketing.
Come on, Bernie. We hit our mark.
Not for our episodes.
A win is a win.
One more season. One more season with consistent growth, or we pack it in.
I want advertisers.
We'll get you advertisers.
I'm not joking. We have to pay back Cres's parents and sustain this podcast. I want advertisers and at least one Patreon subscriber. If we can't do that...
1,000 followers in one night.
Who knows where we'll be a year from now?
We come back to 2019, but this time we are far from the stunning views of the West Loop in Chicago. Bailey and AJ travel further south to Cook County Federal Prison.
Nervous is not the right word. Not anxious, not tense. Giddy. Like a 5-year-old on Christmas Eve, AJ and Bailey barely slept. Months of research and writing and emails and contracts and signatures all led them to this moment.
They are led through a series of metal doors that buzz and clatter open. When the final door slams behind them, a chill runs down their spines. They take a seat at the metal table and set up their equipment. An audio recording device, and a video camera.
They hear the chains before they see her. Dressed in orange, hair in a controlled ponytail, standing at 5 feet 6 inches, bloody Bernie Brown. This is her? She looks like a girl you would see on the train. She didn't even look like she could lift a 25-pound kettlebell.
AJ? Oh, Bailey! Wow. Oh, I can't believe you're actually here.
Neither can we.
I can't believe I am sitting down with the hosts of Something Fishy. I've been following you guys since your first episode.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you both were definitely on my radar. I mean, you are the definition of the podcaster's dream.
Well, a lot of work, a lot of hours.
It's a marathon, you know? If you keep at it, sooner or later.
Sure, yeah. A lot of work, a lot of hours. I did that.
So, Bernadette,
I prefer Bernie.
sorry, the newspapers and stations all call you Bernadette.
Sure. Yeah, but I just told you Bernie, so.
Thank you for inviting us to speak with you and the rest of the trio.
Oh, about that. So Paula is on board, last I heard through the grapevine. She's been really lonely with everyone being so afraid to talk to her. But Cres...
Jane?
Cres. She's a little apprehensive. Well, her lawyer is. Her parents paid for the best in the state.
I heard she hasn't said one word to her lawyer. Or anyone. Just completely silent since 2015.
Oh, Cres speaks when she has something to say.
We were hoping to interview all of you. Tell your story the way you want it told.
Did you get my outline?
Yeah. Yes, thank you. It is a great start.
We did notice there is a part that's missing.
The ending. Or rather, conclusion, you know. What happened to Atwood.
Yeah, Roger. Honestly, that would be a question for Cres. She was the last one to see him.
But the interview? Murder We Spoke's last episode. Roger confessed to everything. The robbery, the murder, all of it leading to...
We were pushed up against a wall. I clearly detail all of that in the outline.
And we will use it.
Mhm.
Absolutely. We are so grateful that you reached out to us.
Why did you reach out to us?
I don't know if you all remember this, but we did reach out to you before all this. We sent an email, well, a few emails asking if you wanted to collaborate with Murder We Spoke. Maybe do a little cross promotion since we were both Chicago-based true crime podcasts.
I don't remember.
Honestly, when we were starting out, everything was so hectic. So many things slipped through the cracks. We must have missed the emails.
Yeah, no, running a podcast is definitely not for the weak of heart. It's a shame. Who knows what might have happened if we did get to collaborate back then.
Well, we are here now. So, here's to an epic collaboration, partnership, really. Together, let's make the greatest podcast anyone has ever listened to.
I can't really move my arms to shake your hand. Handcuffs and all, you know.
Right. Sorry. Okay, let's get started.
Yes, let's do it.
All right, so Bernadette Brown.
Bernie, please.
What's your inspiration?
Bailey, what inspiration?
My inspiration?
Sorry, it just kind of slipped out. I meant...
Your origin story. Where did it all begin for all three of you?
No, I like inspiration.
Just paint a picture with your words. We will narrate, and the audience's imagination will bring it to life. It'll be like they're there in person from the very beginning.
Okay. You want to know how it started? My inspiration? Have you ever heard about the attempted murder at Marquette Park?
No.
No, probably not. Because it was attempted, right? No one ever hears about attempted murders. The newspaper didn't even call it an attempted murder. It was the witches of Marquette Park and children's imaginations gone wild. But that's where you should look. The millions of unsolved attempted murders, children's imaginations. That's where it starts. Back in 1995, a 12-year-old girl was found nearly frozen to death when she slipped through the ice in the Marquette Park Lagoon. Witches or not, some person led that girl out onto that ice. And no one knows who that person is.
End of episode 1.
So,
What?
we can end it here.
End it?
Like we agreed.
But it's episode 1.
Doesn't matter. Deal's a deal.
Yeah, but, like, that was okay. You know? Like, everyone's still alive, and we're not witnessing a horrendous massacre with blood and guts and body parts everywhere.
Right. Not in this episode.
I say we continue to episode 2, but the second there is gratuitous violence, that's it.
Understood.
All right. So, until the next episode, folks.
Thank you for joining us. Be sure to check out episode 2, Nothing Bigger Than a Bunny,
Wait, does something happen to a bunny?
next time.
Voice acting for this episode provided by
Lisa Bol,
Thomas Daniels,
Maria Fernanda Diez,
Mary Glenn Frederick,
Hannah Karpenko,
Tom Morin,
Luli Gomez Teruel,
and
Jenna Zhu.
Stage managed by Olivia Timon.
Directed by Lila Rachel Becker.
Written by Rachel Bykowski.
sound editing Derek A. Graham, audio technician Thomas Daniels. Music for today's episode from White Records, Jeff Harvey, Keyframe Audio, Monument Music, Daddy S Music, and Grand Project. Special thanks to the Alliance of Resident Theaters New York, the New York Council on the Arts, Karen Hammond, and Amanda Brummond. Additional thanks to Josh Pritchard, Kelly Florence, Nina Field, Lakin McCarty, Alice Wu, Rachel Mock, Carter Caldwell, Alicia Kunkel, Liat Graff, and Tracy Greenwood.
Witches or not, some person led that girl out onto that ice. No one knows who that person is.
Oh, shit.